What if the entire AI revolution, the technology promising to change humanity forever, was built on a foundation of sand? What if the soaring stock prices and breathless headlines were all part of a massive, dangerous illusion? For months, it seemed like nothing could stop the AI freight train. But in the shadows, one man saw something everyone else was ignoring. He decided to bet against the entire world, and the shocking truth behind his gamble is far more terrifying than anyone realizes. He's a man who operates from the shadows, a financial ghost who appears only to deliver warnings of catastrophe. His name is Michael Burry. You might know him as the awkward, one-eyed genius from the movie The Big Short, the man who foresaw the 2008 housing crisis, when every expert on Wall Street was blind. But Burry is more than just a character in a film. He's a real-life Cassandra, cursed to see the future but often ignored until it's too late. Here's a guy who analyzes spreadsheets barefoot in his office, jamming to heavy metal, an absolute outsider who's made a fortune betting against the crowd. And a little while ago, he turned his sights on the world's new golden child, artificial intelligence. While the world was celebrating AI as the next great leap forward, Burry was quietly making a move that sent shockwaves through the financial world. He placed a gargantuan bet, worth over $1 billion, that the AI dream was about to turn into a nightmare. He wasn't just buying a few contrary stocks, he was shorting the market. It's one of the riskiest moves an investor can make. It's essentially a bet on failure. You borrow shares of a company, sell them immediately, and hope the price crashes. If it does, you buy them back for cheap, return them, and pocket the difference. It's a high-stakes game of financial chicken. And Burry wasn't just betting against any company. He targeted the king of the AI boom, NVIDIA, the company building the very chips that power the revolution. In doing so, he wasn't just betting against a stock. He was betting against the future itself. The world saw progress, innovation, and infinite potential. Burry saw a bubble so big it was ready to pop. For anyone who remembers the turn of the millennium, this feeling is eerily familiar. Back then, the magic word wasn't AI, it was internet. The dot-com bubble was a time of wild, irrational optimism. Any company with a "icom" in its name was suddenly worth billions, even if it had no product, no profits, and no plan. Investors poured their life savings into companies like Pets, Com and Web1, believing they were buying a piece of the future. But it was a fantasy. When the bubble burst in the year 2000, it was an absolute bloodbath. The Nasdaq lost nearly 80% of its value. Fortunes vanished overnight. Retirements were wiped out. The promises of a new digital utopia were replaced by the harsh reality of bankruptcy and ruin. Burry saw the same patterns repeating today. The same frantic hype, the same fear of missing out, and the same dangerously inflated valuations. He was convinced that AI was just the dot-com disaster all over again, dressed up in new clothes. But here's where the story gets complicated, because the defenders of AI have an incredibly powerful argument. This time, it's different. During the dot-com bust, most companies were burning through cash with no profits in sight. Today's AI giants, on the other hand, are making staggering amounts of money. NVIDIA, the company Burry bet against, isn't just selling a dream. It's selling the shovels in a gold rush. They reported revenues that didn't just beat expectations, they obliterated them. Their profits skyrocketed by over 800%. This isn't some flimsy startup with a cool name, it's a money printing machine at the heart of a technological revolution. Tech giants like Microsoft and Google aren't just talking about AI, they're integrating it into every product, generating billions in real, tangible revenue. So how could Burry be right? How could a revolution with this much real-world power and this much profit be a simple bubble? It seemed like the one man who was always right might have finally made a colossal mistake. But Burry's genius isn't just in seeing bubbles. It's in understanding the hidden cracks in the system. And the AI boom has a dirty little secret that almost no one is talking about. It's a phenomenon some have called the AI feedback loop. Here's how it works. A tech behemoth like Microsoft invests billions into an exciting new AI startup. That startup then takes a huge portion of that investment money and immediately spends it right back with Microsoft. paying for the essential cloud computing services needed to run their AI models. It creates the illusion of explosive growth. The big companies report massive AI cloud revenue. Their stocks soar, and the startups get a sky-high valuation. But in reality, a lot of the money is just moving in a circle, from one corporate pocket to another. It's a self-feeding hype machine, where investment creates the very revenue that justifies the next wave of investment. It's an economic perpetual motion machine, and Burry knew that those don't exist. He saw that underneath the incredible profits, the foundation might be hollow, just as the world began to process his terrifying warning, and as financial analysts started to seriously debate whether AI was a house of cards, Michael Burry did what he always does. He disappeared. His billion-dollar bet against AI, the position that had made headlines around the globe, vanished from his firm's public filings. He had closed it. The Cassandra of Wall Street had seemingly gone silent. The immediate reaction was confusion, then mockery. The AI bulls declared victory. They claimed Burry had been wrong, that he got scared and ran for the hills as Nvidia's stock continued its relentless climb to the moon. They said the old master had lost his touch, but those who have followed Burry for years knew this wasn't a retreat. It was a strategic repositioning. He never holds his positions for long. He lights the fuse, makes his point, and then vanishes back into the shadows before the explosion. The question wasn't if he was wrong. The question was, what did he see next? The shocking truth is, Burry's billion-dollar bet may never have been about AI at all. It was a symptom, not the disease. In the months following his AI short, Burry's cryptic messages online became darker, his warnings more dire. He started talking about something much bigger. He wasn't just predicting a tech crash. He was predicting a systemic collapse of the entire market. He called it the mother of all bubbles. He believes that years of artificially low interest rates and government stimulus have created a fragile, hyperinflated economy across the board. In stocks, in real estate, in everything. In his eyes, the AI mania wasn't the cause of the problem. It was just the most insane, most obvious example of a world that had lost its mind. His bet against Nvidia wasn't a finale. It was a warning shot. He was trying to tell the world that the biggest financial reckoning in a generation is on the horizon, and the irrational hype around AI is the final, deafening siren. So we are left with a chilling question. Is the AI revolution the dawn of a new age for humanity, or is it the peak of the biggest financial bubble in history? Is Michael Burry a lone genius, desperately trying to shake us awake before the floor collapses beneath our feet? Or is he a man forever haunted by his one great success, seeing crashes around every corner? The machines promise us a future of infinite knowledge and boundless prosperity. The man who saw the last crash coming is telling us to run for cover. And as the market climbs ever higher, driven by the promise of artificial intelligence, you have to ask yourself, who do you believe? The machine or the ghost?